On the move, and despite my recent triumph, I was feeling a bit miffed.
Left my gloves in the camera car.
Fortunately, a distraction soon arose.
It's a supercross track.
It was indeed, and I figured that if the DR can do motocross, why not this?
Hey!
Slightly proud of myself, the last thing I expected was a surprise attack from Farmer John.
Oh, the bastard pissed me off. Oh!
I had no answer for him either.
The 200 goes bloody good. Look at this wee dice we're having.
It was cool, but there was no getting around the fact that Anton had just owned both me and the unbeatable 250S.
You're boosting, bro. That goes all good. Yeah, it goes mean.
As it transpired, my pride wasn't the only thing that got broken on the way up that hill.
You guys haven't noticed, we've got gone.
And it wasn't exactly a timely place for that to go either. Because no clutch basically means you can't ride slowly or you'll stall. And the swamp challenge is really anything but high speed.
Well, as you can see, we've got a bog for this one. There. I gotta be honest, boys, I expected at this point all 5 bikes would still be working and have not had any trouble really. And then I would say at this point, oh, we've got to test the durability of these bikes to see what they can go through. It's been made a bit redundant by the fact that we've already lost 2 bikes and had breakdowns of some form on all the rest of them. Jack's now got no clutch, Anton's got no headlight, my subframes are held on by zip ties. But regardless, we're still going to test the durability of them and push it to the real limits.
Exactly.
Jack's going to do his best to overheat the bloody rocket launcher over here.
Sure, it's going to go well.
Yeah, 20 plus 2 in a bog, what could possibly go wrong?
Let's do it.
Alright.
Plenty, as it turned out. But that's the idea. So, as a captivated audience watched on, we lined up for what, as far as any of us knew, could well be the end of all of these remaining machines.
Shot. What else would you expect?
Seconds in, and the chaos began. A handful of radical audience members, in their excitement to get a better look at the action, had stormed onto the racetrack in a frenzy.
Look at this. What happened, bro?
Fortunately though, at a time like this, there's no better person to have around than Farmer John. And boy, was it something to behold. Using nothing but the farming force, he saw the rogue spectators off in short order. Meanwhile, back on lap 1, things weren't quite so hot. Not only had Jack been stuck for basically the whole race so far, but now his chain had fallen off too. So, whilst he set about repairing that via traditional methods, Anton and I kept trucking. Sadly though, with no more farm work left to do, he does have the tendency to go a bit mental.
And the extra height. I think he's dragging the ground, old Anton.
You can say that again.
Pull back. Oh. Why you have to do this, mate?
This went on for some time. Meanwhile, up front, my usual gremlin had reared its ugly head once again.
Me subframe! Oh, your chain's off? Yeah. Roll it forward, mate. That's it, she's on. We're good? Yep. Cheers, mate.
Jack was back in the action. His rut, however, had claimed Anton's chain as well, and he'd need tools again. So, whilst I raided the zip ties for the 50th time,
Oh my god.
it became the Jack show for a while. And let me tell you, it was something. Not very impressive, but it was loud for sure.
With one if you like.
Yeah, that'll be better than nothing.
I wonder what's happened to Ash though, he's not come around yet.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well, I was back in the race.
That's what they
soon, I wasn't the only one back either. Looking a bit different than before, Anton was going again too, much to Jack's detriment.
Ow! Jesus.
And things sort of went downhill from here.
Come on.
How's it going, Ash? You alright, mate?
She's just hot and it's hard to start.
Yeah.
We were sitting ducks here. And supposedly Anton had the shotgun.
G'day, mate.
Fortunately though, he doesn't know how to use it. And now my window of opportunity was open.
Oh no.
Goodbye.
It was time to exact some revenge. Having dealt with Jack, it was Alter Anton's turn, who ironically was trying to roast me. Revenge is a dish best served brown. Meanwhile, back in Honda land, Jack's chain issue had become a real problem. It was falling off almost constantly, and while he still had a few laps up on Canton, they were disappearing fast. Could he nurse the thing home in front, or was he going to get pipped right before the line? We'd soon find out. The closing laps were underway. Ruined subframe and all, it was another easy win for the 250S. Meanwhile, Jack wasn't having quite so much success. Not only was Quinton about to rob him of second place, but it wasn't looking like he was even going to finish now.
We're going home now. I've had enough.
As it turned out, he really had no choice in the matter. Riding without a clutch, Jack had stripped the countershaft sprocket, which meant that, despite holding down a solid third place in points behind the two dominant DRs, he had lost forward drive altogether. The Honda was dead.
Funny thing was, like, this challenge was all to just show how reliable these bikes are, and I expected all 5 to be working by now. Maybe 1 or 2 would break in this, and then we'd just destroy them on the Enduro. But the pits destroyed Matt's bike, and Matt destroyed Kynan's bike.
Sabotage.
So it's onto I guess a pretty frantic Formula 1 style, get the car back ready for the race. And we'll go at it again tomorrow. Hill climb, then Enduro.
So as Numpty headed off to try and revive his XR enough in order to get himself home on, a task complicated by where the plonker had left the thing, one big question remained. What toll had this brutal challenge had on the winning bikes? These poor old DRs.
Of course. Now yours. Suzuki, mate.
None whatsoever. And that is quite something. To outlive a low-performance Honda is no small feat. But we couldn't pat ourselves on the back just yet. Day 2 would be a whole nother box of frogs. We were only halfway there.